weekend, a different type of hockey team hit the ice right here in Bowling Green.
Oh, this is the longest I've ever done it. Oh, all right.
However, once they reach their seat, they can take their mask off. The Conference USA tournament being canceled. The league made the announcement about 11 o'clock this morning. Well, another week and another low-scoring nail-biter for WKU, but this time it was Tops on top against Southern Miss. The Tops will get a few days to lick their wounds until Louisiana Tech comes to town on Thursday. High school sports fans can finally mark their calendars as the KHSAA Board of Control approved the start dates of the fall season. Well, I was hoping my first sportscast in 5 months would be filled with nothing but good news, but it's 2020, so good news and sports don't go hand in hand. Talk about bad timing. We're just days away from the top season opener against the Cardinals, but now the offense is going to be a little short-handed. Wide receiver Jacques Sloan has officially entered the transfer portal and will not be a part of the Hilltoppers football program this season. The return of Major League Baseball has given us a small taste of what we've been craving, a sense of normalcy. I said, look, if nothing's there, tuck it and run. But he has, as the season has progressed, he's gotten better at using his mobility to get outside the pocket but keep his eyes downfield. But if it's okay for students to come back on campus, be put in dorms and classrooms, then why can't student athletes play their sports? Still waiting on that answer. On March 11th, I was in Frisco, Texas, covering ultimately the cancellation of the Conference USA basketball tournament. Now, 5 months later, it's starting to feel like March all over again, this time with college football. On Friday, it was announced the Western Kentucky football staff would be getting raises, a decision that was met with mixed reviews by the Board of Regents.
That is a larger increase than any faculty member will ever see in their career.
It's not an apples-to-apples comparison. There is no football coach, basketball coach anywhere in the country that has tenure.
The WKU Director of Athletics, Todd Stewart, says the way it was presented was enormously misleading.
There's no new spending in 2020 versus 2019. It's just a reallocation of the salary pool because of coaches leaving.
During the offseason, the Hilltoppers lost a pair of assistant coaches, and head coach Tyson Helton decided to take the money those coaches made and reallocate it amongst his current staff, the money coming from private donors.
That happens every single year and actually happens with every single program in the country. Currently, athletics makes up only 4% of the university's total budget. So anyone who thinks that athletics is receiving a priority over academics and funding is simply ignoring the facts.
And the fact is, since 2012, WKU Athletics has seen a total reduction of $6 million. And of the 10 football bowl subdivision conferences, WKU is the only one to be first in its league in championships while being in the bottom 25% of its league in budget.
You know, we're 12th of the 14 members of Conference USA in budget. We succeed at a very high level with support that's at the bottom of our peers in our conference. There is no new total spending. It was a reallocation of money. We're going to be part of the same reductions that the whole campus is part of.
Reporting for 13 Sports, I'm Hunter Smith. Western's homecoming may have been back in October, but one Hilltopper received a homecoming of his own against the Arkansas Razorbacks.
I mean, when I saw the schedule, I saw Arkansas, and that was kind of made me smile a little bit.
Ty Story, who transferred to the Hill as a grad transfer from Arkansas, now facing the team he once not only played for, but grew up rooting for.
We live an hour and 10 minutes from this stadium. He grew up a Razorback fan. I mean, he came to a lot of Razorback games when he was younger.
Seeing all those, all my friends and stuff on the other side kind of ruined the warm-up routine, but it was great to see those guys.
Story was all business against the Razorbacks, throwing for 213 yards and a touchdown, as well as rushing for 2 scores as Western dismantled Arkansas 45-19. A victory the Hilltoppers knew was special for their QB.
And our guys knew it was a big game for him. You know, they were playing for him as well. They wanted him to be able to come back home and be a senior and to get a big win like this.
Just the look on his face after we got the win, just coming off a sideline after touchdown, was like that. It energized us to go even harder for him.
Now, he led the offense very well. Like, he's a real leader out there. You could tell he wanted it. Like, he got a lot of passion.
He loves his teammates, and he loves Bowling Green. It's been a great experience for him.
Since taking over for an injured Stephen Duncan, Story has done nothing short of seize the opportunity. Story is 5-2 as a starter for Western, leading the Hilltoppers to bowl eligibility for the first time since 2017. His journey has had its difficulties, but Story's patience and resilience has paid off.
It's been a struggle for him, just not playing. And he's finally getting that chance, and he's happier than he's ever been, so that makes us happy.
From Arkansas to the Hill to earning a career-defining win over his former team, Ty Storey proves his unwavering determination to get to the top. For 13 Sports, I'm Hunter Smith.
I tell you what, you couldn't write it any better. It was a heck of a story.
Alyssa Kavanaugh had such an incredible influence on people as both a player and person during her time on the Hill. And WKU volleyball head coach Travis Hudson was one of the few people that could truly capture that impact.
All of us in the time that we're given on this earth are on a journey to try to find who we are and who we can be. Although her life was cut short, the journey to that never was for her, because I think she found herself at a very young age, and I think she was proud of who she became, and I certainly know that I was proud of the kid that she became as well.
I've had so many little girls message me and say, she's the reason that I continue to play, or I wear 7 because of her.
Throughout her career, she captivated people as an athlete. When you were on the court with Alyssa Kavanaugh, you believed you had a chance. She had this unbelievable fire and competitiveness and will to go get what she wanted, and she was the same way in life. She also captivated people in her journey through this leukemia, and they were 2 totally different stories, but there were lessons wrapped up in all of those things that she taught.
Until I saw her fight through cancer, I'm not sure that I knew what strong was.
That term toughness gets thrown around in athletics way too much. Not that much about athletics is terribly tough when you get right down to it. There's things in life that are far more difficult than anything you'll ever face in an athletic setting, and it was then that I saw the true toughness that she embodied. I saw her in her good days. I saw her in some of her dark days, and I could not get that kid to tell me she was struggling during all this, because she wasn't. It was hard. It was unbelievably difficult, as anybody knows that's ever been through that kind of struggle. She was always in a place of positivity and strong will and what comes next. Her name comes out of my mouth almost daily with our team, not because she was perfect, not because she was the gold standard always, but because she was the kid that grew. She was the kid that changed. She was the kid that became so much more than just a volleyball player, and those are the things that I will forever be the most proud of.
Over the weekend, a different type of hockey team hit the ice right here in Bowling Green, the Nashville Sled Preds.
I've welcomed the Nashville Sled Preds, sled hockey team here to Bowling Green, just to provide the community with a little demonstration and kind of snapshot of what the Paralympic sport of sled hockey is all about.
Sled hockey follows most of the same rules as regular hockey, with the exception of equipment. Players sit in a special sled with 2 skate blades at the bottom and use 2 shortened hockey sticks to move around the ice.
It's an upper body workout. You can push yourself up and down the ice. You got to use your arms. Your body is strapped into the sled. It's quite fun, to say the least.
The goal of the event was to educate the Bowling Green community not only on sled hockey, but adaptive sports as a whole, which allow athletes with physical disabilities to compete on a level playing field.
There's a lot of people that don't know about the disabled adaptive sports. So when we come out and we're able to do something like this and show everybody, it opens the eyes to a lot of people.
Having our local adaptive sports program here, I think it just shows the community that we're serious about this, that we're really making efforts to grow those opportunities here in Bowling Green and South Central Kentucky.
Those who took part in the demonstration wanted everyone to leave knowing a disability does not define them.
For people with disability, don't look at it that way. The sky's the limit. There are nothing that you can't do. Just look at what you can do and pursue that.
Anybody, whether they have a disability or not, everybody that has abilities beyond that disability.
If you'd like more information on the Nashville Sled Preds, you can visit their website, nationalwheelcats.org. For 13 Sports, I'm Hunter Smith.